Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And it is indeed a brand new day. My window is open because I overheat so easily, and it's wet outside. It was raining, but I haven't been outside yet, and it's right around 10 o'clock. Normally I go for walkies and then I do this stuff later in the day, but because I didn't have a video yesterday, I wanted to do one early. And then I'll go out walkies. As long as I go out walkies, that's good. As long as I get out of here, that's good. Yeah, I can go cabin crazy really quickly in a place like this. I started hearing my own thoughts bouncing off the walls. Gotta get outside around people. Thumbs up for that. But big thing yesterday, had my echocardiogram. Now for me that was really easy. Now my late wife, she had to have esophageal echocardiograms because of all the various things that had happened to her body, which is they had to knock her out and stuff the thing down her throat so that they could get a look at her heart. For me, they didn't have to do that, thank goodness. And it was no worse than just getting an ultrasound. It just took longer. So I had to go in, take off my shirt, of course, lay on my left side for the beginning. They put half of the EKG things on, because normally they do both sides, but they didn't need. And then just started ultrasounding. Now, I know that I have arthritis and possibly bursitis in the joints of my sternum. I will get really sharp pains in the joints where your ribs attach to the sternum, and sometimes even worse, but it's all just because the bone's moving around. When she had her little wand on one particular spot, ooh, I'm touching it now, and it's sore. It hurt from where she had that rib all the way down and underneath my body. That was like this much pain, all just because that one spot where she was touching. So, oh joy. Still though, I know I've got that and I wasn't too worried. It's just, ow. But, dark room, and while it was cold-ish, because that's the way medical stuff is, it was still dark and I have sleeping problems, and so, yeah, the 45-minute check went by really, really fast. So, thumbs up for that. But they send the stuff off. Well, she takes her report and pictures, writes her report up, sends it off to the next level up. They check it, sign off on it, send it off to my primary care provider. So, hopefully before too long, I have an appointment to get skin shaved off of my body. I have concerning things on my back. My back is a field of moles, and some of them are questionable. So they're going to do a shave them off biopsy and then send them off to go to get, well, the biopsy actually done where they take a look. And hopefully it's all benign, and then I'm not going to die horribly from like skin cancer or anything. But while I'm there, I'm going to talk about various other things. I did go in for a blood pressure check, and my blood pressure was okay. I consider it just okay. It used to be, before I started trying Ritalin, 113/70 with no meds, just by my living. And then I almost had a stroke from Ritalin because my blood pressure went boom, and I've been struggling to get it down since. I doubled my blood pressure med, and now it was 128/77. Not bad, not bad, but a lot worse than what it was. So I'm thrilled by that. But at least it was better. Now, of course, I've started a new med for pain. Meloxicam. I sort of talked about that a week or so ago when I first started it. I like the med. It provides a continuous coverage instead of taking, tablets every X number of hours, and don't take any more within a certain number of time and stop taking it after X number of period of stop. This provides more continuous coverage, so I take one at noon and then I take the other one just before I go to bed at midnight to have more of a continuous cover. Problem is, there are issues that it can cause. It's a prescription med after all, and they tend to have a little bit more that can go wrong with them. And I take 81 milligrams of aspirin every night, and aspirin can affect how meloxicam works. However, they said with the small dose, the 81 milligram tablet daily, that's not going to interfere with meloxicam. But it can do a whole lot of other things to your body, so you need to keep watching. One thing I have noticed, and this is a mental change, it is harder for me to get some things done. I feel more tired, and so I have more of a drag on things like motivation. It's harder to get things done just because I feel more like I'm dragging than not, which I am sleeping more. Well, if not sleeping, at least resting longer. Like, I still go to bed after midnight because even though I'm, in bed longer, it's still early. I'm out of bed, or at 7 at the latest. So if I went to bed at 9, I'd still be up at like 3. So not a good thing. But I'm in bed a little bit longer. I still hurt, and I only finally get up when it hurts too much because I'm so tired. But I get up and I get stuff done, get out moving, and it's a little bit later, a little bit tougher, and here I am making this video right now. Now, yesterday when I got back at 3 o'clock, I was having so much trouble staying awake, even on the walk back. Hokey smokes. So when I got back here, it was tough just to stay awake, let alone try and be motivated. I did drag this thing out. I put it up on top of the box that I normally have it on, had my tablet up there and ready to record, and couldn't. And so later on, I was getting things set up to like try and do, because I can record some things not well. If you've watched my shorts on things like Oblivion, I have to do a lot of work just to sync up the audio, because the way it has to record and the way my computer is, it's only like 2 cores, or it does very little threading and all this stuff, so it just doesn't do stuff well. The audio is lagged behind, so you'll see a character jump and then hit the ground and jump, and then you'll hear ba-dump of when they hit and leaped. So everything is off. So I have to take the video and audio, separate the two, move them to try and get them synced up, and then put it together. If I have to do that for a big video, I don't know how well that would work. Especially if I have to do it on this thing here, the tablet, because I have to really massage the video editor light cut. If I have like a 3 gigabyte file, 20 minutes of video, shucks, even half that, if I move quickly, because like all non-linear editors, you can scroll through the video at the bottom of it. But if you scroll quickly, then when you stop and, let's say, start to play, that's it. You can't do anything anymore. There are so many times that I move too quickly, then I have to shut down the editor and then restart it, and it says, hey, we found a draft. Do you want to continue editing this or start over again? And it's like, let's continue, thank you. And then I can go from where it locked up and died. So, thumbs up for that. I don't think a video editor like that is meant for like a full, huge video file. Maybe? I mean, I don't know, but thumbs up. Still though, I had it all ready to record and couldn't. The lack of motivation from being exhausted is no fun. Plus, it's just me ranting against cruel fate again. One thing I hope to do here is to bring my old Xbox back, the modified one, see if it still runs. Now I have another one that's unmodified, see if they still run, and then maybe run through those games. But of course, I'm running through all my nostalgic stuff, not because I want to engage in nostalgia, but because everything else I own has broken. It's all I have left. My PlayStation 4 doesn't work anymore. So all of my stuff that's above a PlayStation 2, I don't have access to anymore. Gone. My Xbox One, broken. So anything above an original OG Xbox, gone. I'm not doing all this nostalgic stuff because I choose to. I'm doing all this nostalgic stuff because I don't have anything else. And if they go, then I don't have anything. Life is fun. I'm not the only person that's got issues. So, thumbs up for that. I got all that money set aside, which it's right now, it's just a little over $500, to try and get a computer. Again, I'm not married to all-in-ones, but I'm not married to putting it all together. But right now, the thing that looks better is getting an all-in-one. Because after all, I think I said this the other day, if I try to get a pre-built thing so that I can upgrade it, by the time I get money and time to upgrade it, I'm going to have to rebuy everything new in the first place. I'd need a new motherboard because things will have advanced far enough that the chips won't fit. I mean, I've run into that just in my own, where this one chipset only works on motherboards made from this point onward. So, yeah, by the time I was ready to upgrade, I wouldn't be able to upgrade just parts. I'd have to upgrade everything. So, yay. And I have seen some all-in-ones that aren't bad from my perspective, but I'm not a techie anymore. But looking at some of the stats on these little, like, they're $400. They're not even as big as a paperback book. Thicker, but apparently some of them will work real well, and of course by the time I'd need to upgrade, another $400 on a different one. So I just wanted to have enough RAM, at least 16 gigs. I'd like 32 or more. It's got to be fast enough. One computer like that I was looking at had like a 5700 some odd thing, and another CPU, and another was like a 5820U. And I looked these things up because I don't know what the hell they are, and they're saying, yeah, this is a pretty good mobile chip. It does a lot of things. And I say, well, you know, I don't like the fact that it's a mobile chip. It has to run Windows. You know, I can't run something that's not. I don't mind other things. But I got so much stuff on Steam and GOG and, God, like EA, their Origin thing from stuff I bought ages ago, that all run on Windows. And while I don't like Windows 11, I like being able to run stuff. And if I went to something else, I wouldn't be able to run those, at least well. Especially with my knowledge. Yay! Even though I still, even on Windows 10, use OpenShell Classic to replace the taskbar and the start button. Which, the Windows 11 thing, I hate. But apparently, there is a way that you can use like the equivalent of OpenShell Classic to make the taskbar and start button, well, it gives you one. It makes the whole thing actually usable and useful instead of the frustrating nightmare that it is. Now, it's not going to change the right clicking where you have to click like 4 or 5 times to do stuff that takes 1 on Windows 10, but there you go. Yay. Now, I had been thinking on a creative level of a whole bunch of stuff, but I cannot remember what I was thinking of, and I'll remember it later on and kick myself for not talking about it. But I do have a whole bunch of creative stuff that I'm still working on with my setting. The whole I remember, because of that, I'm remembering some stuff. But I've been working on some of the cosmic thinking of, anyway, reminding myself and coming to fuller understanders of wanting them, of who they are, like the one whose name used to be Asaterasi, who found an ancient race of beings that had long since passed in the universe, and before they died, they had set up inertial dampers throughout their entire universe, but mostly around the planet that they were on. Well, not inertial dampers, time dampers, just more stasis to slow down the inevitable end of everything. And when Asaterasi goes and finds out who and what they were a race that looked like they, and their language was stuff that was good, and they had perished by their own choice. They could have stepped out of their universe and strode across the multiverse like gods. They could have physically, and all that and more, changed the multiverse, where they could have sat on its throne for eternity. But rather than do all this, they gathered up all their information, sealed it away, lay down, and died. They had achieved everything they ever wanted. They felt no need to step out of their universe and stride across the multiverse like gods. And in their language, Asaterasi comes out sounding more like, it's Asaterasi instead of, Asaterasi. But the only part that we can hear, because the language that the cosmic horrors and the Ur language of the multiverse and reality itself, only about 30% of it is actually visual and audio. The rest of it is, some of it is from senses we don't even have. So there's information that we don't even know how to receive that's coming through when language is being spoken using this alphabet. The only thing that comes through on a term that we can understand is Sayter. And in respect, Asaterasi goes by Sayter. And because of this being their defining moment and they're going into adulthood, maturity, instead of the immature form they had been, the big push of Sayter is preservation of knowledge. They are rather a hoarder of things. They have several universes set aside as just museums for their own use, where they have information and such from races that have vanished that they find fascinating enough that they keep. But they are not evil per se, even though they can, of course, influence everything just by existing. But largely, on various worlds that will have adherence to something like Sayter, it's more of a preservation of knowledge. You will find temples used as museums, and you will find them using their information to teach, so that information does not die out. Information is use. Information in use is information that is alive. And so they teach. And they put that information to good use by things like hospitals. So on worlds and in realities where Sayter is the one that is more worshipped per se, things aren't terrible. Now, of course, with all that power, it does attract those that want power. Largely, though, that becomes through just, again, hoarding. And the big problem that usually brings those types down is they become so greedy, they stop passing on the information to Sayter. And Sayter and their servitors do not take kindly to that. You can copy and use the information that you send to Sayter, but you send that information to Sayter. Thumbs up. Now there's a lot more. That's only one of the 12 children of Dread Amaterasu. Dread, of course, just being an honorific like Your Majesty or Your Highness. It doesn't mean, it's not a part of a name. It doesn't mean, well, you should dread her with her power and such. But even at that, she's not evil. She just came to our multiverse and took up residence in the Infinite City because she just wanted the best life for her children. Since she live birthed her 12 children in the Infinite City that has its foundation sunk into the bedrock of our multiverse. She doesn't look upon this multiverse as home. She didn't hate her original multiverse. She just wanted the best life for her children, and that could not happen in the multiverse that she was born from. Her children think of this multiverse as home. So they're not evil in that fashion. They don't wish the destruction of the multiverse. They love this place. It's their home. And there's the cosmic horrors like it's a hard one to say, Tamikanasa, which is like a big wolf, and they have a pack of their pack, those that follow Tamikanasa, and they run for the sheer joy of running. You know, no future, no past, just right now. No thinking, no planning, just being. Running for the sheer pleasure of running. And they run through 1,000 worlds and 1,000 different realities for the sheer joy of existence. Now, it takes a lot of energy to run, so they actually run through worlds that are inhabited largely by humans and such like that, and they just have to eat every single man, woman, and child on the planet, which they usually do in about 5 or 6 hours, and then they run on to the next world. Are they evil? Well, we're the ones they're eating, so we'd say yeah. But for them, no, they just need sustenance so they can keep running. It just so happens that beings like us are the most nutritious for them. And of course, I do have down below in my links, the links to the GoFundMe, if you could check that out so I can try and get a computer that actually will play and record gameplay and games and edit video. That'd be very awesome if you could do so. If it will hurt you or you just don't like to donate, please do not. But if you can afford it and you wouldn't mind, that would be awesome. Thumbs up and thank you so much. If you are a patron, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome people. You take me from here to here, and that is appreciated. Hokey smokes. And of course, I should say this at the beginning of the video, but if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with people that you think would like watching an old man yammer on about just inane subjects, that would be very cool. And if you left me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome people. I read every one that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart everyone that YouTube will allow, and I answer as many as my nerve compression will allow, which is not as many as I would like. But thumbs up and thank you. And of course, if you could type into the comments, if you have watched this far, red pepper into the comments, that would be very cool. That's probably backwards and I can't just flip things like I normally would, but red pepper, that'd be very cool to show me and the YouTube algorithm that people watch these videos. Thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Well, but hey, this has lasted a lot longer than I thought I was going to, and I still haven't talked about the stuff that I want to talk about. But until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. 24 minutes. I just don't know how to bring these things down shorter. That's okay, though. You have the very, very best day that you can have. That, too, would be a very, very good thing. That's far too much repetition of the word very, but still, you get the idea.